Today I fucked up by eating an entire box of Fiber One bars. Too long didn't read, at bottom. Like many this today I fucked up didn't happen today but a few years back. So, what happened is I was in the military, and I was working nights. Due to how my job was, we couldn't go to the DFAC because our hours caused us to miss it. Because of that we had to pack our own lunches. When I packed my lunch I made sure to have several days of food. I would pack home cooked meals, fruit chews, chips, and granola bars. This time I was trying to eat slightly healthier, so I ditched the granolas for Fiber One. I throw it all into my overnight bag, and off to work I go. I show up for my 1600 showtime, shoot the shit with my co-workers, and we check out at Humvee, and we post out. We get to the location, set up our stations and sit. We're there for about 2 hours or so during that time I decided to have a little snacky snack and to eat one of my home meals, especially since we thought it was going to be a short day. Continue to talk with my co-workers and friends, and over the net, we get a message saying we will be there for another 8. I'm thinking, okay, but I'm with good company, it's reasonably warm outside, and the weather is nice. Over those hours, I ended up eating almost all my food, except some Doritos, a banana, and the box of Fiber One bars. It's now been 10 hours, and the shift isn't over yet, and I don't have much food left. Which, for those wondering how did I already eat almost all of my food? When food is just sitting next to you and you're bored, eating passes time. Another hour passes and we're notified over the net that it will be a few more hours, but not to fret, our relief is coming. Sweet. Ask one of the team leads to see if we were returning to base. I get a yay, and we will be placed on 6 rings. So, in other words, I get to go back to base and wait to be called back into work, but other than that, I'm free to do whatever. Now I'm excited as shit. I'm so happy in my mind. I go, well, I can eat the rest of my food since I'm going home. So I eat my Doritos, my banana, and a few Fiber One bars, no problem. The oncoming team shows up, we do change over and shoot the shit with oncoming for a little while. I eat the rest of the box of Fiber One bars during that time because, as I said, they were pretty good. We get done talking to oncoming and we dip back to base. The ride is an hour back, so I pop my headphones in and relax. The majority of the ride back was silent and uneventful. We stop for fuel and check and make sure the driver is good to press on. During that time, I felt a little rumble in my stomach, but I paid it no mind. Everyone's good, so we press on to the base. We are about 30 minutes away, and I started to become gassy. I opened the window and eased a few out here and there. The first few rips, I felt fine afterward, but I started getting a mean cramp in my gut, and each fart I let go started to hurt. We are getting closer and closer to the base, and with each moment, I felt worse and worse. The cramps were terrible, my farts were hot, and I was starting to sweat. The entire time I'm thinking, man, what the hell? I close my eyes and lean my face closer to the window to take my mind off the pain. It worked for a little bit until I felt the unmistakable rumble in my lower intestine, telling me I have to shit. I speak up and tell the driver straight up, hey man, I don't feel good. Can we speed up a little? The driver probably thought I was going to puke, so they sped up, and to be honest, the way I was feeling, I probably could have. We get to base, we put the Humvee up, turn in our gear and head home. I hop in my car, and I race back to my place, the entire time cramping and farting. I park my car, and I get ready with the mindset to run to my apartment. Nope. The minute I stood up, I could tell the next fart I let go was going to be the one, and running would have made it happen sooner. So I do this weird waddle where I'm clenching my cheeks, and I'm holding my stomach, praying that I make it. Every step I'm dreading because I have to go up 2 flights of efforts to make it to my bathroom. I waddle up the steps and I make it into my apartment. I hurried up, took my boots and pants off as soon as I got in, and walked to my bathroom. I don't know why, but the moment my feet hit the cold tile of the bathroom, it was like my body knew I was headed for the toilet. At that moment, I could feel it pushing. It felt like if I unclenched my cheeks, bent over, sneezed, or whatever, I would have shat myself. So I carefully walk over to the toilet and sit down. I relax, nothing, so I rest some more, nothing. I'm sitting on the toilet, and nothing happened. So I relax as much as I could, and that's when it happened. I could feel the little demon knocking on the back door, but there was a problem. I was constipated, and let me tell you, I was backed up. I tried semi-squatting, no dice. I tried pushing, no dice, so I did what I had to. I got up, grabbed a stool to prop my legs up higher so I could be in a better squatting position, and I pushed. I pushed, relaxed, pushed, relaxed, pushed, relax. I was starting to sweat again, and it was barely coming out. I'm bracing my arms against the many walls surrounding my toilet, and I'm pushing hard enough to move the bowel movement but not hard enough to make anything else pop out. But I can feel the vein in my forehead popping out, my hands are clammy, my back and feet are sweating, my asshole feels like it's being kissed by the sun, and I wish that I never bought those bars. Each push felt like it was barely moving, and it hurt like a motherfucker. After a few more grunts and pushes I could feel it moving faster and faster. So at that point I gave one final push and it popped out. The relief that washed over me was amazing. For that split second I forgot I was ever constipated, until I relaxed, and that's when my asshole felt like it was back on fire. But I didn't care, the cramps were gone and I felt so much better besides the flaming anus. I don't know about you all, but after bowel movements, I turn around and see if there are any abnormalities. And there was only one: my poop looked dry. Like, I had no water for days. Dry. Explains why I was having a hell of a time passing it. But I flush, wipe, and proceed to shuffle to my shower so I can relax. Afterward, I laid down and took a nap. I woke up feeling like a new man, and with that, my first stop was Denny's. That's a fuck up for another day, though. TL, doctor, got massively constipated from too much fiber, ripped asshole giving birth to a new appendage. Reading this next to the large empty box of Fiber One bars I bought today, distressed face, start drinking water, your stomach will thank you. If you eat a lot of fiber, drink a lot of water. What's crazy is I took a case of water with me but I barely touched it. I learned my lesson that day. Too much fiber one leads to no number two. I'm recovering from another surgery on my bowels and decided to eat some high fiber oatmeal yesterday morning to help me out. OMG, I farted all day. Thought my lungs and asshole somehow became connected. No puto until work today. Came home early. Today I fucked up by accidentally day drinking. During various lockdowns my regular D&D group has moved to online sessions via Google Hangouts. Our usual sessions have always been in the evening, and we usually have a few drinks. Due to different people's schedules during COVID times, it's been getting harder to get together, so today we tried out having our session in the morning instead so we could go for a good few hours. Being furloughed has made me completely lose track of time and the date. My brain saw that I was in a situation where I usually have a few drinks in a short space of time, so I didn't think anything of drinking that quickly over a much longer space of time, in the morning on an empty stomach. It's now the afternoon, the world is spinning, I have zero ability to do anything productive with the rest of my day and I can't sleep it off as it's nowhere near bedtime yet. Edit, can we all stop for a moment and appreciate how coherent I was while absolutely trolleyed? Much water was drank yesterday evening, and I'm now awake at 8 AM with no hangover. TL, Dr. Furlough life made me lose track of time and get drunk at 10 AM. I now can't function as an adult for the rest of the day. Dude, you're perfectly fine lol. Enjoy yourself. It's only a problem when you start calling out of work to drink or skipping out on social obligations, for example, birthdays, scheduled hangouts, etc. Take a nap. You'll have a late day hangover, but that's about it. Nah. When my part of the country went into lockdown last year, one of my favorite days was waking up at 5 AM and not being able to get back to sleep. I had a box of wine in the fridge and drank some while playing on the internet while the sun came up in my kitchen. Would totally do it again. I used to be a bartender, try to get a pickle to eat. Solid advice. sounds like nap time and then you're ready for the rest of your day. All good dude, everyone needs a crash day. Global pandemic, social lockdown, economic collapse, politics run amok. All this, yet it took D&D to get you day drinking. You're a stronger person than I. Today I fucked up by making stuffed jalapenos for dinner. Alright, this happened last night. No backstory here, just decided to make some cream cheese jalapenos. Keep in mind I'm winging it. No recipe, no further research, just me and the peppers. Well, for maximum cream cheese efficiency you need to gut the jalapenos. Which means getting a knife and knocking out the seeds and veins, the hottest fucking parts. See? Jalapenos are fairly small compared to other peppers, and their seeds get stuck in the little crevices inside. That being said, you have to get in there with your fingers as to not fuck up the pepper with a giant knife. So I get the seeds out, stuff the peppers and let them cool. They came out alright, not bad for my first try, especially without a recipe. 7/10. Probably gonna try again later. Here's the FU. After dinner I had a bit of a mental breakdown. Nothing too severe, but I was just rambling nonsense to the point where my friends were concerned for my safety and told me to take a shower. So, I decided that a shower could do me some good. Well, it should have. I, wanting a dopamine rush, decided it would be a good idea to crank one out before hopping in the shower. Well, I did, and it wasn't long before. Holy shit, my little guy was on fire. Turns out, despite washing my hands over 4 times with Dawn Ultra Platinum, the soap they use for ducks in oil spills, there was still a very large amount of capsaicin within my pores. I quickly clean up and get in the shower. Hot water. Holy shit. Hot water and spice don't mix. Not on your skin. Mr. Frank wasn't very happy, and neither was I. Just to make things better, things got worse. The hot water reactivated the capsaicin in my fingertips and essentially tear-gassed me in the enclosed bathroom. Fun times. Afterwards I tried everything to stop my hands from burning. My fingertips were in pain the rest of the night. They felt like they had rug burn. It's the morning after. Fingers feel better. As for my little soldier, he's doing alright. Too long didn't read, made some jalapenos, took a shower, turned my dick into the Human Torch and tear-gassed myself. Always use gloves or some serviettes when dealing with chili. Yes, you might look like an amateur, but at least you'll avoid your whole situation. As a professional, I say always use gloves, or keep some Coco Lopez handy. I've made ops mistake before. Making stuffed jalapenos for dinner. Mark 10 SFW. WTF happened here? The storytelling was like a 4/10, but calling him Mr. Frank got you my upvote. Use a spoon, works so much better than the knife. When taking out the guts, work for a Chinese buffet, we do so much of those things. Then wrap bacon round the jalapeno. And a fellow cook told me to put my hands in salt. It helps, but the burn's still gonna last a while. The shower part I wouldn't know, lol. Thanks for the heads up. Why use hot water? Cold makes more sense. For a project in school I extracted pure capsaicin from habaneros. As it's anhydrous, I extracted it using ethanol, which then had to be put over a heating plate, so I only had the capsaicin left. For a good while it was going good, but then suddenly it turned into a volcano and sprayed absolutely everywhere. I had already read about how horrible it is to breathe in pure capsaicin, but reading about it doesn't really prepare you for what it feels like in practice. Getting it on your private parts, however, I can only imagine. Haha.